Hi and Assalamualaikum. We are from Group 6 and in this video, we will presenting about emerging issues, sustainability reporting analysis. First, let me introduce our group members first. My name is Nuradia binti Sharizal. We have Adifa Erina, Amira Shahira, Alisa Balkis and Putri Naziratul Naim. Hi and Assalamualaikum. We are from Group 6 and
In today's rapidly changing world, businesses face increasing pressure to not only deliver financial performance but also to act responsible and transparently toward the environment, society, and governance, often referred to as ESG metrics. One key way companies meet this demand is through sustainability reporting. Sustainability reporting is a form of non-financial reporting that goes beyond the numbers on a balance sheet. It enables companies to communicate their progress towards sustainability goals, addressing environmental, social, and governance dimensions. These include discussing both the positive and negative impact their activity have on environment, society, and the economy. By doing so, companies provide stakeholders, whether they are customers, investors, employees, or policymakers, with a transparent view of how they manage their ESG commitment. The importance of sustainability reporting in context of Malaysian regulatory requirement are enhancing transparency and trust, addressing key challenges, and aligning with sustainable development goals. Firstly, for enhancing transparency and trust, as we know, transparency is more than just a buzzword. It's the foundation of trust between companies and their stakeholders. When businesses are transparent about how they operate, they empower stakeholders such as customers, employees, investors, and the public to gain a clear understanding of their practices, values, and impacts. This transparency fosters accountability, ensuring that companies act responsibly and ethically. For instance, by openly sharing information about supply chains, environmental policies, and community engagement, business demonstrate their commitment to operating with integrity. Ultimately, building trust leads to stronger relationship, loyalty, and long-term success. It's a win-win for companies and the society they serve. Secondly, addressing key challenges. As we know, the modern world faces pressing challenges and companies have a pivotal role in addressing them. Issues like climate change, social inequality, and governance deficiencies are not just global problems. They are opportunities for business to innovate and lead. By adopting sustainable practice like reducing carbon emissions, promoting diversity and inclusion, or strengthening governance structures, companies can make meaningful contribution to these challenges. Take climate change, for example. Businesses that invest in renewable energy or energy efficient technologies not only reduce their environmental footprint but also position themselves as leaders in sustainability. Similarly, addressing social inequality by promoting fair wages and equal opportunities strengthens society's cohesion and foster economic growth. In essence, tackling these challenges is not just a moral imperative, it's a strategic advantage that ensures resilience and relevance in an ever changing world. Lastly, aligning with Sustainable Development Goals (SDGs). The United Nations Sustainable Development Goals or SDGs provide a global roadmap for addressing the world's biggest challenges by 2030. For companies, aligning their strategies and operation with these goals is an opportunity to showcase their contributions to a better future. By tracking and reporting their progress in areas like climate action, social equality, and sustainable economic growth, businesses demonstrate their alignment with national and global priorities. This alignment not only strengthens a company reputation but also attract social conscious investors, customers, and employees. In doing so, companies ensure that their growth is not just sustainable but also impactful, helping the nation and the world achieve a more equitable and prosperous future. Next, the International Financial Reporting Standard IFRS S1 and S2 have set a global benchmark for sustainability disclosures. These are the 3 points why these standards are so important for businesses today. Firstly, global alignment with SDGs. Sustainability reporting under IFRS S1 and S2 align business practices with international sustainability goals, particularly the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals (SDGs). These goals address critical global challenges, including climate action, gender equality, and social equity. By aligning their strategies with the SDGs, companies demonstrate a union commitment to creating a positive global impact. For example, by adopting IFRS S2 standards for climate-related disclosures, business showcase their effort to reduce carbon emissions. Second point, which is regulatory compliance, regulations surrounding environmental, social, and governance (ESG) factors are becoming increasingly stringent. IFRS S1 and S2 provide a standardized framework for sustainability disclosures, ensuring businesses are prepared to meet these evolving compliance requirements. By adhering to these standards, companies reduce the risk of non-compliance penalties, which can have financial and reputational repercussions. Furthermore, standardized reporting builds trust with regulators and investors, demonstrating that the organization is proactive and well prepared to navigate the complexities of ESG regulations. This compliance-driven transparency is particularly valuable in industries like finance and energy, where regulatory scrutiny is at its peak. For the last point, which is enhanced transparency and decision making, transparency is a cornerstone of sustainability reporting under IFRS S1 and S2. These standards provide clear and consistent framework for disclosing material sustainability information, enabling stakeholders to make informed decisions. Investors, for instance, can assess a company's long-term resilience to climate risk or its social impact strategies. This leads to smarter investment choices and fosters a deeper level of trust. For businesses, sustainability reporting isn't just about compliance, it's about credibility. Transparent communication with stakeholders not only enhance trust but also positions the company as a leader in sustainable and ethical business practice. The International Financial Reporting Standards, or IFRS, have introduced two key frameworks, which are IFRS S1 and S2. These standards aim to standardize how organizations disclose sustainability and climate-related information. IFRS S1 established the general requirement for sustainability-related disclosures. It acts as a comprehensive framework, ensuring that businesses disclose relevant and reliable information about how they address sustainability risks and opportunities. The ultimate goal is to provide stakeholders with a clear understanding of how these factors influence a company resilience and long-term value. The key areas covered by IFRS S1 is firstly governance. This focuses on how the organization oversees sustainability issues. Secondly is strategy. This area examines how sustainability risks and opportunities impact the company's business model and value creation. Businesses need robust processes to identify, assess, and manage sustainability-related risks. IFRS S1 ensures these processes are clearly disclosed. And lastly, metric and targets. Organizations required to report quantifiable indicators that measure their sustainability objective. These might include energy efficiency, resource consumption, or social impact metrics. Meanwhile, for IFRS S2 focuses specifically on climate-related disclosure, an increasingly urgent area of concern for businesses and stakeholders alike. IFRS S2 helps organizations identify and report on climate-related risks and opportunities. Firstly, for the climate risks, physical risks such as which include physical risks such as extreme weather events or rising sea levels that could disrupt operations or supply chains. And secondly is transition risks like new regulation, shifts in consumer preference, or technological changes associated with the transition to a low carbon economy. And for the metric and targets, companies are required to report on critical indicators such as greenhouse gas GHG emissions across scope 1, 2, and potentially 3. Progress toward achieving carbon reduction goals or other climate objectives. These disclosures provide stakeholders, investors, regulators, and customers with the transparency needed to assess how companies are managing their climate impacts and risks. IFRS S1 and S2 create a unified approach to sustainability and climate-related reporting. They enable businesses to communicate their sustainability performance effectively, empowering stakeholders to make informed decisions. Our chosen company is AirAsia and Mars Airline. The company overview for AirAsia is founded in 1993 and headquartered in Sepang, Malaysia. It is one of Asia's largest and most successful low-cost carriers with its tagline, "Now everyone can fly." It transformed air travel by offering affordable tickets and innovative service. The airline primarily operates domestic and international passenger flight, emphasizing cost efficiency through unbundled service like baggage and meals. It has diversified into digital services with the AirAsia Super App, offering travel, e-commerce, and financial products. AirAsia serves over 165 destinations across 25 countries, operating through subsidiaries like AirAsia X that offer long-haul flight and joint ventures in Thailand, Indonesia, and the Philippines. In the pre-pandemic, it achieved strong financial performance driven by high passenger volume and efficiency, while the COVID-19 pandemic caused financial challenges, which AirAsia is recovering through increased travel demand and a shift toward digital transformation. Next, for the company overview of Malaysian Airlines, it established in 1947. It is Malaysia's national carrier known for its premium flying experience and quality service. Mars operates as a full-service airline offering passenger and cargo flights, including charter service through its cargo division, Mars Cargo. It provides in-flight meals, entertainment, and premium seating options. The airline serves domestic and international routes across Asia, Europe, Australia, and the Middle East. As a member of the One World Alliance, it benefits from enhanced global connectivity. Despite their financial struggle and the impact of the 2014 MH370 and MH17 tragedies, Mars continues to rebuild through restructuring, partnership, and cost efficiency measures. In Malaysia, aviation sector, Malaysian Airlines compete in the full service segment, while AirAsia leads the low-cost market. Together, they boost connectivity, tourism, and economic growth.
Sustainability reporting practices for Malaysian Airlines and AirAsia. So, for the first question is compare and contrast how two companies disclose sustainability-related information. The first factor is environmental sustainability. Malaysia Airlines launched the Environmental Master Plan 2.0, targeting net zero carbon emission by 2050. They have invested in renewable energy projects such as a 30 MW solar photovoltaic system and focus on waste management, water conservation, and biodiversity. Meanwhile, AirAsia environmental efforts are centered on reducing carbon emission and improving fuel efficiency. They also emphasize fleet modernization to reduce their environmental footprint. The second one is in terms of social responsibility. Malaysia Airlines actively engage with communities through programs supporting local suppliers and humanitarian aid. They also prioritize gender diversity with 40% female representation in their workforce. They also increase training hours and community enrichment programs like #MyAirportCares. Meanwhile, AirAsia focus on employee well-being and community development. They have initiatives to enhance the workplace environment and support undeserved communities. The next one is in terms of governance. Malaysia Airlines ESG governance is overseen by a dedicated board sustainability committee. Their reporting aligns with international frameworks such as GRI standard, FTSE for Good, and MCSI ratings. For AirAsia, sustainability governance is managed at the operational level. That includes a dedicated board sustainability committee to oversee ESG matters. Their reporting aligns with Bursa Malaysia's enhanced sustainability reporting framework. So, what I can conclude is, firstly, Malaysia Airlines, their approach is comprehensive, strategic, and heavily focused on measurable targets and also long-term planning. As for AirAsia, their approach leans towards operational efficiency and community engagement, with qualitative reporting being the primary method.
This is where MAS and AirAsia disclose their sustainability-related information as mentioned in previous slide.
Let's move on to the next part. I will discuss how Malaysia Airlines and AirAsia align their governance structures with FAR661 and Standards 2 to manage sustainability risks and opportunities effectively. So for Malaysia Airlines, they are aligned with FAR661. Malaysia Airlines has established a board sustainability committee that oversees governance and provides strategic direction for sustainability initiatives. Their approach reflects the three lines of defense model, ensuring a robust framework to identify, manage, and mitigate sustainability risks. The Environmental Master Plan 2.0 aligns with Malaysia Airlines' sustainability goal with its corporate strategy, addressing key environmental, social, and governance ESG factors. For FAR661, the same governance structures oversee climate-related risks, supporting strategic alignment with sustainability goals. They emphasize comprehensive oversight, integrating sustainability consideration into broader business decision and risk management frameworks. This can be seen at corporate governance overview statement at page 209. So for the AirAsia, FAR661, AirAsia employs a sustainability steering committee and a sustainability working group to oversee sustainability-related risks and opportunities. For FAR662, their risk management committee (RMC) plays a key role in addressing ESG risks, leveraging frameworks like the Task Force on Climate-Related Financial Disclosure (TCFD) for alignment with IFRS Standard 2. While governance structures are operationally focused, the integration of sustainability into risk management process ensures compliance with global standards and supports their transition towards sustainable aviation. This can be seen in Sustainability Statement, page 26 and 74. Okay, now let's move on to the strategic approach that Malaysia Airlines and Asia adopt to manage sustainability and climate-related issues aligned with IFRS 1 and 2. So, for Malaysia Airlines, IFRS 1, Malaysia Airlines integrates sustainability into its broader corporate strategy, ensuring alignment with environmental, social, and governance (ESG) factors. So for IFRS 2, the Environmental Master Plan 2.0 serves as their strategic framework, targeting net zero carbon emission by 2050. This plan emphasizes proactive measures such as renewable energy adoption, waste reduction program, and energy-efficient infrastructure upgrades. Malaysia Airlines also focus on aligning with United Nations Sustainability Development Goals (SDGs), ensuring its strategies contribute to global climate action. This disclosure can be seen at Sustainability Review, page 131 and 133. For AirAsia IFRS 1, just like Malaysia Airlines, AirAsia also focus on achieving net zero carbon emission by 2050. AirAsia strategies centers on operational efficiency and innovation to address climate-related issues. For IFRS 2, key initiatives include fleet modernization, fuel efficiency programs, and the exploration of sustainable aviation fuels. They are committed to achieving carbon neutral growth under the carbon offsetting and reduction scheme for international aviation by 2050. AirAsia also leverage carbon offsetting projects and collaborate with partners to enhance its sustainability footprint with a strong focus on measurable outcomes. This disclosure is updated in Sustainability Statement, page 36 and also 75. So what can I say is Malaysia Airlines takes a comprehensive and long-term strategic approach, embedding sustainability deeply into its corporate vision and aligning with international standards. Meanwhile, AirAsia focus on practical and operational measures, balancing cost efficiency with sustainability goals to drive immediate impact.
Next, I will present about the risk management frameworks used for sustainability. For the Malaysia Airlines, for the IFRS S1, they use ERM ISO 31000 and COSO frameworks to ensure a structured approach to managing sustainability risks. It includes specific models for managing climate-related risks such as extreme weather and regulatory transition, anchored by Environmental Master Plan 2.0, focusing on achieving net zero carbon emissions by 2050. Aligned with IFRS S2, these frameworks also encompass climate-related risks aligned with the requirements for managing and disclosing such risks under IFRS S2. Aligned with IFRS S1 and S2 for systematic risk management process, including a climate-related risk. Risk management identifies, assess, and manage climate-related risks, including regulatory compliance with SAF mandates and CORSIA SIM starting in 2024. With the S1 and S2, risk management process address both general sustainability risk, which is S1, and detailed climate-related risk, which is S2, consistent with IFRS guidelines. This information is disclosed in their annual report at page 73 and also page 257. For the AirAsia, they align with IFRS 1, which is transparency and consistency in reporting. For the transparency, they use enterprise risk management ERM framework adheres to ISO 31000 2018. The climate-related risks are disclosed in alignment with Task Force on Climate-Related Financial Disclosure (TCFD). Scope 1 and 2 and 3 GHG emissions are tracked under CORSIA, providing a transparent basis for managing regulatory risk. For the Scope 1, they use emission from aircraft operation, which is primary source. Scope 2 is facility energy consumption, and Scope 3 is emission from passenger travel and upstream activities. For the consistency, the annual reporting ensures emissions data and climate-related risks are consistently disclosed across reports, integrating sustainability into the company's financial and operational risk management processes. This information is disclosed in page 74 annual report of Asia. For the aligned IFRS2 initiative for sustainability goals, the risk management and sustainability steering committees incorporate ESG goals into operational decision making. The target include achieving a carbon neutral growth by 2050 under CORSIA. For the long-term goals, incentivizing compliance with international standard and operational efficiency contributes to sustainability-linked performance metric. And for this information, it is disclosed in page 70. Next is metric and targets. Tracks GHG emission, which is Scope 1, 2, and 3, focusing on carbon intensity and emissions avoidance through fuel efficiency. Aligned with IFRS S1 and 2, regulate reporting on GHG emission metrics support both overall sustainability performance, which is S1, and specific climate-related metrics, which is S2. For Asia, physical risk is risk from extreme weather affecting operation, including delays and increased maintenance costs due to harshest conditions, identified and managed using the Task Force on Climate-Related Financial Disclosure Framework. And for the transition risk, it's exposure to compliant requirements such as the carbon offsetting and reduction scheme for international aviation, CORSIA, regulatory risk related to sustainable aviation fuel, mandates, and carbon pricing. For GHG emission, Scope 1 is a direct emission. The emission is from aircraft fuel consumption, dominant source, and the target is adherence to CORSIA's carbon neutral growth goals. And for Scope 2 is indirect emission, energy usage in operational facilities such as office and ground service. And for Scope 3 is a value chain emission. It includes upstream supply chain activities and downstream emission from passenger travel. No specific quantified metrics disclosed, but efforts are underway to monitor and mitigate emissions. And for the target is to achieve carbon neutral growth through compliance with CORSIA. Their action is by monitoring emission intensity per passenger kilometer, reducing emission via operational efficiency and fleet upgrades. Metric and targets for Malaysia Airport is aligned with IFRS S2. Detailed reporting on Scope 1 and 2 and 3 GHG emission along with specific reduction targets addresses the need for climate-related metrics and target. And for the aligned with IFRS S1, reporting on this metric also helps in managing and disclosing sustainability-related risks and opportunities. Aligned with IFRS S1 and IFRS S2 for disclosure for sustainability and climate-related metrics and targets, particularly GHG emissions. And for the climate-related risk, first is physical risk. Risk of flooding, rising temperatures, and extreme weather events affecting airports' operation. And for the second one is transaction risk. The risk is cost and operational adjustment related to meeting net zero carbon emission targets by 2050. Regulatory compliance costs due to increased scrutiny of emission from airport operation and tenant activities. Next is GHG emission. Scope 1, which is direct emission, is emission from fuel consumption in airport-owned vehicles and equipment. For Scope 2, which is indirect emission, is electricity usage across terminal operation. The reduction is solar projects have lowered Scope 2 emissions by 15%, which is 22.5 MWP solar capacity across 6 airports. Scope 3 is a value chain emissions. It is emissions from tenants, airlines, and passenger travel. The action include deploying electric ground support equipment, which is EGSE, to reduce tenant emissions. The Malaysia Airport's target is to achieve net zero carbon emissions by 2050. Their action to achieve this target is developing solar farms at KLIA and other airports, maturity assessment to prioritize climate-related risks, and collaboration with airlines and tenants to implement eco-friendly practices. Here is where MAS and AirAsia disclose their metric and target related information as mentioned in previous slide. It is from page 50 and 75 from AirAsia Annual Report and page 133 from MAS Annual Report.
Hi, I'm Alisa. So I will assess the reporting quality of AirAsia and MAS focusing on three key aspects, which is comprehensiveness, clarity, and comparability. So let's evaluate the comprehensiveness of AirAsia disclosure. AirAsia provide detailed financial report offering insight into the key metrics such as ancillary revenue per passenger, which grew into 54 ringgit in 2023. The report also highlight about the operational performance such as the passenger capacity and the load factor. On the sustainability, AirAsia efforts are well documented. Next is clarity. AirAsia excels in presenting information clearly and concisely. The reports are well structured with a clear heading, summaries, and visual like graph and the trend lines, which make the data is easy to understand. Finally, let's look at the comparability of the AirAsia. AirAsia reports allow for a year-on-year comparison, especially in the financial metric like a revenue and the passenger trends. This consistency in the reporting methods make it easier for the stakeholder to assess the performance over the year. Let's move on to the Malaysia Airline. Malaysia Airline does an excellent job in its financial reporting. For instance, in 2023, they reported an impressive operating profit of 1.1 billion ringgit. For their sustainability report also highlight various environmental initiatives such as fleet modernization to improve fuel efficiency and reduce the carbon emission. Now, let's move on to the clarity of Malaysia Airlines report. Malaysia Airlines report are well structured, making easy to navigate through the different sections like governance, environmental effort, and the community engagement. They also use chart and visual effectively to present data such as emission reduction and or operational efficiency. The language is also simple and accessible, so the readers from various backgrounds can understand the information. Lastly, let's look at the comparability of Malaysia Airlines. Malaysia Airlines provide consistent year-on-year financial data, which helps stakeholders to track trends and assess their progress. They also include benchmarks such as comparison to global aviation standard, which is a plus. However, the sustainability report is less consistent. There is limited historical data that making it hard to evaluate for the long-term progress. Now, let's take a look on how this company utilize the various sustainability framework and how this framework align or differ from the IFRS S1 and S2 standard. AirAsia has made notable strides in sustainability reporting, but their use of the framework is somewhat limited. While they don't explicitly mention using well-known framework like GRI, SASB, or TCFD, they do align with the International Aviation Standard, particularly through CORSIA, which is the Carbon Offsetting and Reduction Scheme for International Aviation. This aligns with IFRS S2, which emphasizes climate-related disclosure as CORSIA help manage carbon emission. AirAsia also report on CO2 emission, which support the climate-related aspect of IFRS S2. On the other hand, Malaysia Airlines adopt a more comprehensive approach to sustainability reporting. They reference GRI, the Global Reporting Initiative, in their disclosure, providing a more holistic view of their environmental, social, and governance practice. This makes their reporting more aligned with the broader global sustainability standard. While SASB and TCFD are not explicitly mentioned, their sustainability report include detailed environment metrics such as fuel efficiency and renewable energy initiative, which align with TCFD's recommendation. In terms of the alignment of IFRS S1 and S2, Malaysia Airlines does well. Their sustainability disclosure are more detailed, addressing various sustainability risks and opportunities that affect their financial performance, which align with the goals of IFRS S1. Now, let's compare how AirAsia and Malaysia Airlines used their framework and their alignment with IFRS S1 and S2. For the AirAsia, they show a limited use of the global framework, primarily aligning with CORSIA and providing environmentally disclosure related to the emission. Their alignment with the IFRS S1 and S2 is emerging but could be improved with the broader adoption of the framework like GRI or TCFD. For the Malaysian airline, they integrate elements of GRI and show the stronger alignment with the global sustainability standard. Their reporting is more comprehensive, addressing environmental, social, and government factors is closely aligned with the IFRS S1 and S2. However, they could further enhance their disclosure by including detailed climate scenario analysis in the line with the TCFD. To conclude, while both AirAsia and Malaysia Airlines have made a significant progress in sustainability reporting, Malaysia Airlines is ahead in terms of using the global framework like GRI and offering a broader scope of this disclosure. AirAsia, on the other hand, is starting to align with IFRS S1 and S2 but could benefit from expanding their use of established framework for a more comprehensive approach. Both airlines could enhance their alignment with TCFD and improve scenario analysis to meet the expectation of the investor and the stakeholder.
Next, I will present on the challenges in adopting IFRS S1. Firstly, for Malaysian airports holding Berhad, which is also known as MAS, the challenges are financial disclosure adjustment. The complexity of adapting financial disclosures to align with IFRS S1 can be found in the discussion on financial risk and opportunities management. Next is investors' communication. The governance and investor relations section discuss challenges regarding enhancing communication with investors about financial impact. Lastly is coordination across units. The need to standardize financial disclosures across business unit is highlighted in the context of risk management and compliance. For AirAsia Berhad, the challenges are resource constraints. The financial review section covered issues with resource allocation for financial disclosures under IFRS 1, particularly concerning operational efficiency and budgeting. Next is consistency in reporting. The challenges of maintaining consistency in reporting across different regions are mentioned in discussion about financial strategies and reporting frameworks. Lastly is financial restructuring complexity. Given its recent history of financial restructuring, AirAsia X faces additional challenges in aligning its restructured financial statements with IFRS S1 requirements, which demand a comprehensive and consistent financial disclosure across all operations. Next, on the challenges in adopting IFRS S2. For Malaysian airports holding Berhad, the challenges in adopting IFRS 2 is climate risk reporting. The sustainability statement and environmental impact section discuss the challenge of reporting climate risk in alignment with IFRS S2. Next is integration of environmental data. Difficulties in integrating environmental data into financial reporting are detailed in sustainability initiatives and data management strategies. Lastly is training and expertise. The human resource development and training sections highlight the need for specialized training and expertise for climate risk reporting. Next, for AirAsia Berhad, the challenges in adopting IFRS S2 is data collection and analysis. Challenges related to collecting and analyzing climate-related data are discussed in the sustainability governance and reporting session. Next is operational impact assessment. Issues in assessing operational impacts of climate risk are mentioned in the risk management and sustainability strategy sections. Lastly, for the challenges in adopting IFRS S2 in AirAsia is regulatory alignment. The complexity of aligning with evolving climate-related regulations is addressed in discussions on regulatory and compliance and environmental policies. Lastly is opportunities for improvement in sustainability reporting. For Malaysia airports holding Berhad, the first opportunities are enhanced stakeholder engagement. Improved sustainability reporting under IFRS S1 and S2 provides an opportunity to enhance transparency and engagement with stakeholders, including investors, passengers, and regulatory body. Next is operational efficiency. The emphasis on sustainability can drive operational efficiencies through better resource management and reduce environmental impact, contributing to cost saving and improved brand reputation. Lastly is leadership in sustainable aviation. Adopting comprehensive sustainability reporting can position MAS as a leader in sustainable aviation, attracting more environmentally conscious investors and customers. As for the opportunities in AirAsia X Berhad, the first one is competitive advantage. Improved sustainability reporting can differentiate AirAsia X from competitors by showcasing a commitment to environmental and social governance, enhancing brand value and customer loyalty. The next opportunity is risk management. Enhanced sustainability reporting can help AirAsia X identify and manage environmental and social risks more effectively, leading to improved long-term resilience and compliance. Lastly is to assess green financing. Demonstrating robust sustainability practices can open up access to green financing options, potentially lowering capital costs and supporting further sustainable initiatives.